All right, we are about 1 minute away from our formal start. Please make sure you are in a good position to follow along and have your chat open for possible questions. We begin at exactly 8:15 a.m. A pleasant morning to our distinguished DOST officials, esteemed guests, researchers, nutrition professionals, and participants joining us from all over the country and the globe. Welcome to day one of the 52nd FNRI Seminar Series. I am Vanessa I. Ramas, and I am honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for this morning's opening program. This year, we gather around a theme that is both a direction and a commitment. FNRI MOVES are mobilizing opportunities for vision, evidence, and science towards sustainable food and nutrition. Over the next 2 days, that theme will come to life through the work, the data, and the conversations we share in this space. But first, let us ground ourselves. Please rise for our doxology, followed by the Philippine National Anthem and our institutional hymns. Let us direct our attention to the screen.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for gathering us all today in this important endeavor. We ask that you bestow your guidance and blessing upon each attendee. May we honor one another by keeping an open mind. May we voice our truth and listen with an open heart. Bless everyone present today, that each may be able to share his or her contributions and gifts. Grant good health and safety to loved ones left outside this room, and bestow peace and goodwill to all of us. We ask for your wisdom and grace to use our talents for the betterment of others. May the various activities related to this day be a success through your intervention. With gratitude, we offer this prayer in your name. Amen.
Alan, the Bush, us soar high. We raise the DOST banner, the Food and Nutrition Research Institute for a healthy Filipino population. Excellence to seek and discover, aiming for a better healthy country. The Food and Nutrition Research Institute, we are bringing wellness to our nation. An integral pride of the institution, scientific studies for proper solution, seek to alleviate hunger, malnutrition to the next builders of our nation. Come journey with us, soar high. We raise the DOST banner, the Food and Nutrition Research Institute for a healthy Filipino population. Excellence to seek and discover, aiming for a better healthy country. The Food and Nutrition Research Institute, we are bringing wellness to our nation. The Food and Nutrition Research Institute, we are bringing wellness to our nation.
To kickstart our morning and formally welcome us all to this two-day scientific event, let us hear from the woman steering this massive endeavor. She is a career scientist and the Chief Science Research Specialist of the Nutritional Assessment and Monitoring Division, whose work continues to shape how we measure, understand, and respond to food and nutrition challenges nationwide. Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation through your reaction buttons or a virtual round of applause as we welcome Dr. Mildred O. Girindola.
Isang makaagham at napagpalang umaga po sa ating lahat. So in behalf of the Organizing Committee, it is my great pleasure to warmly welcome you to the 52nd FNRI Seminar Series of Food and Nutrition and SNT activities with the theme FNRI MOVES, Mobilizing Opportunities for Vision, Evidence, and Science Towards Sustainable Food and Nutrition. To our distinguished guests from the Department of Science and Technology, our colleagues from the government agencies and local government units, representatives from the academe, research institutions, professional organizations, development partners, industry, our students, and everyone joining us online from different parts of the country and beyond. Good morning, and thank you for choosing to spend the next 2 days with us. For more than 5 decades, the FNRI Seminar Series has served as the premier venue for sharing DOST-FNRI's latest food and nutrition research, technologies, and innovations. More importantly, it has brought together researchers, practitioners, policymakers, educators, students, and partners who share a common goal. That is to learn from one another, exchange ideas, and work towards improving the nutrition and health of Filipinos. So we are delighted to once again hold this seminar series on an online platform. Whether you are joining us from your offices, classrooms, laboratories, or homes, we are grateful that technology allows us to gather as one scientific community despite the distance. And we hope this virtual setting enables even more participants from across the country and abroad to take part in meaningful discussions and benefit from the knowledge and experiences that will be shared throughout this event. So I encourage everyone to make the most of this opportunity. Be actively involved in the discussions, ask questions during the open forums, and share your insights and connect with your fellow participants. For all we know, some of the most meaningful collaborations begin with a simple conversation. And we hope this seminar series becomes a space where new ideas, partnerships, and opportunities can flourish. This seminar series is a result of months of careful planning, collaboration, and teamwork. And it would not have been possible without the collective efforts of many individuals working behind the scenes. So on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to the DOST-FNRI management led by Attorney Lucian Diras for their unwavering guidance and support, to the scientific program community for developing an engaging and meaningful program, and to all the working committee chairs, co-chairs, and members, our speakers, moderators, panelists, judges, participants, our sponsors and partners, whose dedication and contributions made the 52nd FNRI series a success. So to each one of you, my heartfelt thanks for your invaluable contributions and bringing the 52nd FNR series to life. So this event would not have been possible without your dedication and support. And as we officially begin this year's seminar series, I hope the next 2 days will be filled with meaningful learning, engaging discussions, valuable connections, and fresh inspiration. May we all leave this event with new knowledge, strengthened partnerships, and a renewed commitment to advancing food and nutrition science for the benefit of every Filipino. Let us remember that FNRI Moves is more than this year's theme. It reminds us to keep learning, keep working together, and keep finding better ways to improve the nutrition and health of Filipinos. Because we know that when knowledge leads to action, our lives improve. So once again, welcome to the 52nd FNRI Seminar Series. Maraming salamat po at isang makaagham na umagang muli sa ating lahat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Girandola, for that inspiring and warm welcome. So the data is clear, the direction is set, and the work begins now. At this juncture, we want to know who is in our virtual room today. So to do the honors of introducing our vibrant delegates and participating institutions, let us all welcome the chair of the Registration Committee and Senior Science Research Specialist from the Nutritional Assessment and Monitoring Division of DOST-FNRI, Ms. Mayan S. Javier.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the Department of Science and Technology, Food and Nutrition Research Institute 52nd Seminar Series with this year's theme, FNRI Moves, Mobilizing Opportunities for Vision, Evidence and Science Towards Sustainable Food and Nutrition. Before we officially begin today's program, allow me to acknowledge the distinguished personalities who have honored us with their presence today. Our guest of honor, Senator Paolo Benigno Bam Aquino IV, Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Science and Technology, Senator Francis Kiko Pangilinan, Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Food and Agrarian Reform. From the Department of Science and Technology, we are honored to welcome Dr. Renato U. Silidum Jr., DOST Secretary, Dr. Leah J. Bendia, Undersecretary for Research and Development. From the DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute, we are privileged to join by the Institute present and past leaders. Attorney Luciden G. Rash, Director 3 and Officer in Charge, Office of the Director. Former Directors Dr. Imelda Angeles Agdepa and Dr. Mario V. Capansana. We would also like to extend our warmest welcome to the directors and representatives from the regional and provincial offices of the Department of Science and Technology. We are truly honored to have you with us today. Joining us as well are our distinguished leaders and officials. Honorable Lorna Tacdol, Vice Mayor of the Municipality of Tayug, Pangasinan. Professor Maria Janessa Reyes, Director of the Bicol Regional Food Innovation and Commercialization Center. Ms. Teresita Visro, Executive Director of the Philippine Networks of Food Security Programs, and Ms. Maria Lourdes Vega, Executive Director of the Nutrition Foundation of the Philippines. A warm welcome also goes to our esteemed colleagues from our national government agencies. Yusek Cheryl Marie Caballero, Undersecretary of the Department of Agriculture, Mr. Roderick Napulan, Director 4 of the Department of Health, Dr. Maria Socorro Ignacio, Chair of the Board of Nutrition and Dietetics of the Professional Regional Commission. To all our representatives from international organizations, national government agencies, local government units, academic and research institutions, professional societies, development organizations, industrial partners, and our valued collaborators, thank you for joining us. Your presence reflects the shared commitment and strong partnerships that continue to advance food, nutrition, health, and scientific innovation. And of course, to our keynote speakers, resource persons, presenters, moderators, session chairs, and every participants joining us today, whether online or on-site, welcome. Your presence, expertise, and active participation are what makes this gathering truly meaningful. We sincerely thank you for taking the time to be with us, and we hope you will find today's program both enriching and inspiring. One of the things that make the FNRI Seminar Series truly special is not only on the research that will be presented over the next 2 days. It is the people gathered together here today. This year's seminar series has brought together 645 participants from 4 countries, Canada, USA, Qatar, and the Philippines. To our colleagues joining us from Canada, USA, and Qatar, welcome. We are honored by your presence, and we thank you for joining us in this shared pursuit of advancing food and nutrition science. Whether you're joining us from across the Philippines or from overseas, from your office, your laboratory, your classroom, or the comfort of your home, your presence today reflects our shared commitment to collaboration, innovation, and excellence in food and nutrition. Here in the Philippines, we are delighted to welcome participants from all 18 administrative regions, making this a truly nationwide gathering. So from the National Capital Region, we have 191, from CAR, 21, Ilocos Region, 31, Cagayan Valley, 21, Central Luzon, 65, Calabar Zone, 121, Mimaropa, 21, Bicol Region, 23, Western Visayas, 20, Central Visayas, 39, Eastern Visayas, 11, from the Negros Island Region, 1, Zamboanga Peninsula, 14, Northern Mindanao, 16, Davao Region, 16, Soxargen, 18, Caraga, 8, and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao, 4. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikiisa. Despite the distance between us today, we are connected by one shared purpose, and that is to improve the health and nutrition of every Filipino through science, innovation, and collaboration. Equally inspiring is the diversity of expertise presented in this gathering. Our largest group of participants consists of 335 nutritionist dietitians, joined by 97 nurses, 52 physicians, 23 chemists, 21 professional teachers, 19 professional food technologists, and professionals from agriculture, engineering, environmental planning, public health, social work, and many other disciplines. We are also pleased to welcome researchers, faculty members, students, policymakers, local government personnel, development partners, and representatives from the private sector. Whether this is your very first FNRI Seminar Series, or you have been with us through the years, whether you are a student beginning your research journey, or an accomplished scientist with decades of experience, your presence is invaluable. Behind every participant is a unique story, Some of you are conducting research that expands the frontiers of knowledge. Some are delivering nutrition and public health programs that improve lives in communities. Some are teaching and mentoring the next generation of scientists and health professionals. Others are developing policies, strengthening institutions, or transforming scientific evidence into real-world solutions. Different roles, different expertise, one shared mission to advance food and nutrition science and improve the health and well-being of every Filipino. This diversity is more than a statistic. It is a reflection of what food and nutrition science has become. Addressing to these nutrition challenges requires expertise from many disciplines working together toward one shared goal. Over the next 2 days, may this seminar series be a venue where ideas are exchanged, new perspectives are gained, collaboration are formed, and innovation solution takes shape. Together, let us continue building a stronger scientific community dedicated to improving food, nutrition, and health for every Filipino. As we officially begin this year's seminar series, let us embrace the spirit of FNRI MOVES, mobilizing opportunities for vision, evidence, and science towards sustainable food and nutrition, which will guide our discussion and inspire our collective pursuit of healthier and more sustainable communities. Once again, to our distinguished guests, speakers, presenters, partners, and all our participants joining us from the Philippines and around the world, welcome. Maraming salamat po at isang makaagam na umaga sa ating lahat.
Thank you, Ms. Mayan. That is the community we are building this knowledge with. So to all our delegates and institutions represented today, we're so glad you're here. To set the tone for this year's seminar series and officially introduce our esteemed DOST officials and guests who will deliver messages of support, we turn to the head of this institution who brings both legal acumen and institutional authority to the work of advancing food and nutrition research in this country. It is my privilege to give the virtual floor to the Director 3 and Officer in charge of the Office of the Director, DOST-FNRI, Attorney Luciden G. Raz.
Guests, Honorable Senator Bam Aquino, Honorable Senator Kiko Pangilinan, Secretary Dr. Renato U. Solidum Jr., and Undersecretary Dr. Leah J. Buendia, esteemed colleagues from the scientific community, fellow nutrition advocates, partners from government and private sectors, and our promising student researchers, a pleasant morning to you all. It is indeed my distinct honor and privilege to welcome you to this year's 52nd Seminar Series of the DOST Food and Nutrition Research Institute with the theme FNRI Moves, Mobilizing Opportunities for Vision, Evidence, and Science toward Sustainable Food and Nutrition. While we are gathering virtually today, separated by screens and distances, our shared vision for a healthier, well-nourished nation brings us together closer than ever. Hosting an event online offers us a unique privilege. It allows us to bridge geographical boundaries and gather the leading experts and innovators in a single virtual space. However, we are also recognize that virtual attendance requires a special kind of dedication. Over the next 2 days, we will be presenting a carefully curated program that spans the entire life cycle of Filipino health and nutrition. Every session has been designed to offer distinct insights, and I highly encourage everyone to stay logged in, stay engaged, and actively participate from the opening session today until the final launching tomorrow. Today, our journey begins with technical sessions 1 to 4. While we will be addressing different issues from the different stages of life, the first 1,000 days, the youth and the older population, we will be concluding the first day by witnessing the brilliant minds of our youth through the undergraduate student research competition for nutrition science. I invite you all to stay online to support and be inspired by the future leaders of nutrition science. I anticipate that today's discussions will leave you eager for day 2, the continuation of the undergraduate student research competition for food science and technology will kick off tomorrow's presentations. You would not want to miss discussions on the Philippine food system, learning how we can utilize our rich biodiversity and different food innovations. Finally, our conference will end with the grand FNRI ICT launching, where we'll be witnessing a historic digital transformation as we unveil pioneering applications such as HeatMap, the INA Food Recognition App, and Marfel Augmented Reality. As you can see, our agenda is packed with groundbreaking knowledge. Missing even a single session means missing a piece of the puzzle in our collective mission. I emphasize that the wealth of data to be shared over these 2 days is not meant to remain in a virtual archive. It is meant to be translated into policy, community action, and healthier lives for every Filipino family. I invite you to maximize the chat features, participate in the Q&A segments, and virtually network with your peers. Let us make this online experience vibrant, interactive, and deeply impactful. Thank you very much. Welcome once again, and I wish you and all of us a highly productive, inspiring, and successful 2-day conference. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Moving forward, we are privileged to receive messages of support. One from the executive leadership of the department. Next is from a passionate advocate for grassroots innovation, local research capabilities, and the commercialization of life-saving technologies. And last, but definitely not the least, is a champion for evidence-based governance and strategic data-driven resource allocation. Our first guest is our Undersecretary for Research and Development. She serves as a vital strategist, driving the modernization of our scientific landscape, aggressively building the bridges that connect Filipino research with key international science and technology alliances. The DOST Undersecretary for Research and Development, Dr. Leah J. Buendia.
Dear colleagues, fellow scientists, nutrition advocates, and partners in the public service. Good morning. FNRI moves, two words that carry so much weight and so much hope. Mobilizing opportunities for vision, evidence, and science toward sustainable food and nutrition. It is a theme that does not simply describe what this seminar aspires to be. It describes what science at its best is called to do. This year's seminar series highlights the critical role of science, technology, and innovation in addressing the country's evolving nutrition and food security challenges. Through its comprehensive technical sessions, the event showcases the breadth and depth of nutrition research, from protecting the first 1,000 days of life and promoting healthier lifestyles among Filipino youth, to advancing nutrition care for metabolic health, supporting healthy aging, strengthening food systems through biodiversity, and translating research into practical food innovations. These timely discussions reflect DOST's unwavering commitment to advancing research that responds to national priorities and improves the quality of life of every Filipino. Guided by the department's vision of Agham na Ramdam, we strive to ensure that scientific knowledge, research innovations, and technological solutions create tangible and lasting benefits for communities. And by moves, I mean this in every sense of the word. Science that moves through the system, from the laboratory to the hands and homes of the Filipino families it was designed to serve. Science that moves people, that changes how communities eat, how children grow, how households make decisions about food and health. And science that moves us, that renews our sense of purpose and reminds us why we chose this work in the first place. In the Office of the Research and Development, we speak often about the full arc of scientific work, from discovery to development to deployment. Too often, research stops at the first stage. It produces valuable knowledge that remains within the walls of institutions, inaccessible to the communities that need it most. What FNRI Moves challenges us to do is complete that arc, to ensure that the vision is grounded, the evidence is acted upon, and the science actually moves. FNRI has long been one of DOST's most steadfast research institutes, producing evidence that is not only scientifically rigorous, but genuinely useful. The National Nutrition Surveys, the food composition databases, the technology innovations in food fortification and processing, the nutrition programs tested over decades, these are not merely research outputs. They are national assets, and they are the direct result of scientists and professionals who have committed themselves to research that serves a purpose greater than publication. The Office for Research and Development is proud to support FNRI's continuing work and deeply committed to strengthening the environment in which that work can flourish. This means advocating for sustained research funding, fostering multi-sectoral partnerships, and building the policy pathways that allow evidence to travel from our research institutions to our national programs and into the communities they are designed to reach. To everyone, I ask you to embrace the full meaning of MOVES. If you are a researcher, ask yourself how your findings can be made more accessible, more applicable, and more visible to the decision makers and practitioners who can put them to use. If you are a program implementer, ask how you can bring the latest evidence into the work you do on the ground. If you are a policymaker, ask what it would take to close the gap between what science tells us and what our programs currently deliver. Because the Filipino people, the child in a far-flung barangay who is stunted before she ever begins school, the family that cannot afford a balanced meal, the community that has never seen a nutrition intervention reach their doorstep, they are not waiting for us to finish deliberating. They are waiting for us to move. To the FNRI OIC Director, the organizing committee, and every participant, Thank you. Your presence here is itself an act of commitment. May the conversations, the collaborations, and the courage to act that emerge from this gathering be felt long after it concludes, in our research institutions, in our programs, and most importantly, in the lives of the Filipino communities we are privileged to serve. We wish everyone a productive, meaningful, and successful seminar series. Let us move together with purpose and with the Filipino people always in view. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you for that wonderful message, Yusek Lea Buendia. Now, let us proceed to our next guest, a dedicated legislator and farmer whose career is defined by an unwavering commitment to food security, agricultural modernization, and empowering small-scale food producers. Senator and Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Food, and Agrarian Reform, Honorable Francis Kiko N. Pangilinan. Due to official commitments, Senator Pangilinan was not able to send his recorded video. But thankfully, he sent his message of support. Allow me, and I'm honored to read it on his behalf. Napapanahon at napakahalaga ng temang FNRI MOVES, Mobilizing Opportunities for Vision, Evidence, and Science toward Sustainable Food and Nutrition. Higit kailanman, kailangan natin ng mga polisiyang nakabatay sa siyensya, ebidensya, at sa tunay na pangangailangan ng bawat Pilipino. Congratulations sa pamunuan ng Department of Science and Technology, Food and Nutrition Research Institute or DOST-FNRI sa lahat ng mga mananaliksik, nutritionists, health professionals, educators, policymakers, mga estudyante, at sa lahat ng kalahok sa 52nd FNRI Seminar Series. Ang usapin ng nutrisyon ay hindi lamang usapin ng kalusugan. Ito ay usapin din ng edukasyon, kabuhayan, agrikultura, at kinabukasan ng ating bansa. Mulit-muli nating nakikita ang epekto ng gutom sa ating mga kababayan. Ang batang pumapasok sa paaralan na walang laman ang sikmura. Ang pamilyang kulang sa masustansyang pagkain ay mas madaling maipit sa paulit-ulit na kahirapan. At ang bansang hindi kayang tiyakin ang sapat, ligtas, at masustansyang pagkain para sa mamamayan nito ay mahihirapang makamit ang tunay na pag-unlad. Kaya nga, palagi nating sinasabi, food security is national security. Ito rin ang prinsipyong gumagabay sa ating mga panukala sa Senado, kabilang ang Free School Meals Bill, na layong mabigyan ng masustansyang pagkain ang mga batang Pilipino sa mga pampublikong paaralan. Naniniwala tayo na ang libreng pagkain ay hindi lamang programa laban sa gutom. Isa itong pamumuhunan sa kalusugan, edukasyon at kinabukasan ng ating kabataan. Kasabay nito, isinusulong din natin ang direktang pagbili ng malaking bahagi ng mga pagkain para sa feeding program mula sa ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda sa ilalim ng Sagip Saka Act. Sa ganitong paraan, hindi lamang natin binubusog ang mga bata, pinapalakas din natin ang kabuhayan ng mga food producers na nagpapakain sa ating bansa. Bilang chairman ng Senate Committee on Agriculture, Food, and Agrarian Reform, nananatili ang ating paninindigan na ang mga batas at programang ating sinusulong ay dapat nakabatay sa siyensya at ebidensya. Mahalaga ang papel ng mga institusyong tulad ng DOST-FNRI sa pagtitiyak na ang bawat hakbang ng pamahalaan ay may matibay na pundasyon sa pananaliksik at kaalaman. Sama-sama nating gamitin ang siyensya, ebidensya at malasakit upang matiyak na walang batang magugutom, walang pamilyang mapag-iiwanan, at bawat Pilipino ay may sapat at masustansyang pagkain sa hapag. Maraming salamat at mabuhay ang DOST-FNRI. Muli, nagpapasalamat din ang DOST-FNRI kay Senator Kiko Pangilinan. Now, let me introduce our next speaker, a staunch defender of Filipino scientists and a leader who championed Republic Act No. 11037 or ang Masustansyang Pagkain para sa Batang Pilipino Act, which has significantly strengthened efforts to address child nutrition in the Philippines. Ladies and gentlemen, a senator and the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Science and Technology, Honorable Paulo Benigno Bam A. Aquino IV.
Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Si Senator Bam Aquino po ito. Isang mainit na pagbati sa mga kaibigan natin sa DOST-FNRI. Maraming salamat sa walang sawang paglilingkod upang mapabuti ang kalusugan at nutrisyon sa ating bansa. Sa inyong patuloy na pagtataguyod ng kaalaman at inobasyon, naway manatili kayong inspirasyon sa paggamit ng teknolohiya para sa isang mas maunlad na Pilipinas. At asahan niyo po na may kakampi kayo sa Senado na magsusulong ng tamang paggamit ng makabagong teknolohiya. Maraming salamat po, mabuhay kayong lahat, at good luck po sa inyong seminar.
Thank you very much to our honorable speakers for those powerful messages of support. We carry this momentum forward to conclude our lineup of distinguished guests. To grace us with his inspirational message and uplift our spirits today, we are deeply honored to welcome the pinnacle of our department's authority, our very own Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Secretary Renato U. Solidum Jr.
Isang makaagham na araw po sa ating lahat. Every year, this seminar series brings together stakeholders from every level in our nutrition system. And every year, we are reminded of a fundamental truth. Building a well-nourished Philippines is a responsibility that no single institution, profession, or sector can carry alone. Behind every research paper, every data point, and every laboratory innovation, there is a face. There is a child who deserves the chance to grow up healthy and strong. There is a mother who deserves to feed her family with dignity. There are millions of Filipino families who deserve a life defined by hope, health, and opportunity. That is who we serve. That is why we are here. We will not pretend the road ahead is easy. Our communities are confronting the harsh realities of rising food prices, economic uncertainty, and the persistent grip of poverty. We continue to battle the triple burden of malnutrition, undernutrition, hidden hunger, and overnutrition. And in these difficult times, it is always the most vulnerable who bear the heaviest burden. Yet, despite these challenges, I remain profoundly optimistic. I remain optimistic because I have seen what science can accomplish when it is guided by compassion and translated into action. I see it in our researchers who ask the question that truly matter, in our nutritionists who serve the most remote communities, in our policymakers who choose evidence over convenience, and in our barangay health workers who show up every single day with nothing but dedication and care. You are the proof that better health outcomes are not just possible, they are within our reach. This is exactly what DOST-FNRI MOVES calls us to do, to mobilize and to transform knowledge into action. It challenges us to take the evidence we generate and the innovations we develop and ensure they reach the people who need them most, not just on the pages of our publications, but in the heart of our communities, not just inside our laboratories, but in every Filipino home. Ito ang tunay na kahulugan ng agham na ramdam. Nutrition resilience is not built overnight. It is built through the daily choices of scientists who pursue meaningful research, practitioners who bridge the last mile, leaders who put people first, and communities that embrace evidence-based solutions. Every single one of us has a role to play in this mission. Science can open the door to a better future, but it is through effective policies, strong partnerships, and collective action that we walk through that door together, leaving no Filipino behind. As we open this seminar series, let us ensure this gathering becomes more than just an exchange of ideas. Let it be a true catalyst for action, where evidence becomes policy, innovation becomes impact, and science becomes the bedrock of a nutrition-resilient Philippines. Together, let us build healthier families, stronger communities, and a nation where every Filipino can live a healthier, more productive, and prosperous life. Magpatuloy tayo na may puso, may malasakit, may katibayan, at may agham. Maraming salamat po.
Very much, Secretary Solidum. That is the direction. The work that follows is ours to deliver. With that, the 52nd FNRI Seminar Series is officially and formally open. More than a nationwide data collection activity, the 2025 Updating Survey demonstrates the Institute's commitment to generating timely, reliable, and policy-relevant evidence on the nutritional status, health, food security, and socioeconomic conditions of Filipinos. From meticulous field operations across the country to the extensive analysis of survey findings, every step reflects the dedication of our researchers, field personnel, and partners in producing high-quality data that support informed decision-making. This perfectly reflects the spirit of this year's 52nd FNRI Seminar Series theme, FNRI MOVES, or Mobilizing Opportunities for Vision, Evidence, and Science towards Sustainable Food and Nutrition. The survey exemplifies how a shared vision, strengthened through collaboration, scientific rigor, and evidence generation, creates opportunities to address the country's nutrition challenges and advance sustainable food and nutrition security for all Filipinos. With that, let us watch this special video featuring the 2025 Updating Survey, highlighting its journey from the data collection to the generation of evidence that will help shape a healthier and more sustainable future for the nation.
Every Filipino story begins with food. From the critical first 1,000 days to healthy aging, nutrition touches every stage of life. Because before a child can learn, before a worker can build, and before a nation can prosper, nutrition comes first. It shapes our minds, our bodies, and our capacity to thrive. Yet, proper nutrition remains an uphill struggle for millions of Filipinos. While some fight just to put food on the table, others face the chronic diseases of a poor diet. Different realities, same core crisis. A relentless cycle of disasters, economic shocks, and soaring prices has reshaped how Filipinos live, eat, and survive. To understand these realities, we do more than count numbers. We listen, we measure, we document stories from communities across the nation. Because in times of uncertainty, evidence matters. At the heart of this mission is DOST-FNRI, journeying across the country for decades to ensure that no Filipino is left unseen, unheard, or uncounted. Because every community, every household, and every Filipino matters. Here, a statistic is never just a number. It represents a life. A data point is a future, and the survey is a collective step towards a healthier nation and a lasting legacy for the next generation. By stepping into Filipino homes and understanding their realities, we transform stories into reliable evidence, and that evidence into life-changing action. Now we face the defining question: are we winning the fight against malnutrition?
The Department of Science and Technology, Food and Nutrition Research Institute is mandated under Executive Order Number 128, Section 22, Series of 1987, to undertake research that defines the nutritional status of the population, its causes and effects, and to identify alternative solutions. With these, the Institute conducts the National Nutrition Survey, or the NNS, and the Updating Survey, which is further strengthened by EO number 87, Series of 2025, designating it as a statistical activity that will generate critical data for decision-making by the government and the private sector. FNRI has been conducting the NNS since 1978. The NNS years are shown in green, conducted every 5 years, with the latest conducted in 2023. In between these are the updating surveys conducted between NNS rounds to provide more timely data on the nutrition situations of Filipinos. The survey highlighted in orange is known as the Expanded National Nutrition Survey, or ENNS, following a 3-year rolling design. This dissemination will focus in the 2025 updating survey, which is conducted 2 years after the latest NNS. The 2025 updating survey aims to update the nutrition and health status of Filipinos to be used for crafting policies as a basis for nutrition interventions and supporting the monitoring and evaluation of national and regional nutrition plans and strategies. This survey utilized the 2023 Geo-enabled Master Sample, or the GUMS, of the Philippine Statistics Authority, which now includes geographic coordinates for sampled areas, which help facilitate the identification and location of survey sites or areas. The survey covered 118 domains in total, including 82 provinces, 33 highly urbanized cities, and 3 other urban areas. 4 sample replicates were drawn from each domain. The survey employed a 2-stage sampling design. The first stage selected primary sampling units, which are small areas, either a barangay or an enumeration area ranging from 100 to 300 households spread across the country. The second stage involved selecting 12 to 16 housing units in a barangay or enumeration area. The survey team used the Electronic Data Collection System, or the EDCS, for real-time digital entry and transmission to improve the data collection efficiency. The 2023 NNS covered 11 components. From these, the 2025 updating survey only covered 6. The anthropometry component, the clinical and health component, the food security component, the infant and young child feeding practices component, the maternal health and nutrition component. Finally, the socioeconomic status component. The 2025 updating survey recorded high response rates. The response rate was 91.5% at the household level and 84.4% at the individual level. Now, let us look at the profile of the households and their members. On average, households have 4.1 members, with most having 5 or fewer members and residing in urban areas. The majority of the household members were female and most were adults. Among women of reproductive age, 2.8% were pregnant while 9.7% were lactating mothers. Most household heads were male, married, and had at least high school education. Lastly, 7.2% of the total sample reported belonging to indigenous peoples.
The 2025 updating survey features the key findings on food security, maternal health and nutrition, infant and young child feeding practices, anthropometry, and clinical and health indicators among Filipinos. For food security, 32.6% of Filipinos remain moderately to severely food insecure, especially those from large households, rural areas, and the poorest wealth quintile. In terms of maternal health and nutrition, which includes findings on the nutritional status of pregnant women and availment of prenatal care services, 16.7% of pregnant women are nutritionally at risk. On the other hand, 73.3% of pregnant women have timely first prenatal visit. Moreover, 84.8% of pregnant women in their third trimester have at least 4 prenatal visits, while 22.9% had at least 8 prenatal contacts. The top 3 commonly availed prenatal care services are blood pressure measurement, weight monitoring, and micronutrient supplementation. Among currently pregnant women, 85.2% took micronutrient supplements and 5.6% reported taking deworming drugs after the first trimester. The infant and young child feeding practices comprises breastfeeding and complementary feeding. 59.4% of the infants and young children are given timely initiation to breastfeeding, while for infants below 6 months, 54.8% are exclusively breastfed. Furthermore, 61% are continuously breastfed up to 1 year, while 48.5% are continuously breastfed up to 2 years. In terms of complementary feeding practices, 90.6% of infants aged 6 to 8 months receive timely complementary foods. 23% of the infants and young children are meeting the minimum dietary diversity, 95% meeting the minimum meal frequency, but only 22.4% are meeting the minimum acceptable diet. For anthropometry, the results include data on underweight, chronic energy deficiency, stunting, wasting, overweight, obesity, high waist circumference, and high waist-hip ratio. Underweight or chronic energy deficiency remains a concern, affecting 12.7% of infants and young children, 16.2% of under 5 children, 18.6% of school-age children, 6.6% of adults, 10.7% of older persons, 7.3% of non-pregnant, non-lactating women, and 9.4% of lactating mothers, highlighting the continuing burden of undernutrition. Stunting remains prevalent, affecting 21.1% of infants and young children, 25.3% of under 5 children, 18.9% of school-age children, and 21.4% of adolescents. Wasting affects 6.3% of infants and young children, 5.1% of under 5 children, 6.1% of school-age children, and 9.6% of adolescents.
3.2% of infants and young children and 3.8% of children under 5 are overweight for their height. Meanwhile, 16% of school-aged children and 15.6% of adolescents are overweight or obese, highlighting the growing double burden of malnutrition. Overweight is prevalent among 15% of non-pregnant, non-lactating women, 16.9% of lactating mothers, 17.1% of adults, and 17.9% of older persons. Moreover, obesity remains high, affecting 40.3% of non-pregnant, non-lactating women, 38.6% of lactating mothers, 44.5% of adults, and 35.9% of older persons. Using the International Diabetes Federation cutoffs, high waist circumference affects 38.5% of adults and 47.4% of older persons. Meanwhile, high waist-hip ratio affects 50% of adults and 71.6% of older persons. For the clinical and health component, the 2025 updating survey gathered data for 3 non-communicable disease-related risk factors, including smoking, alcohol drinking, insufficient physical activity, and elevated blood pressure. Findings revealed that the percentage of current smokers is 4.5% among adolescents, 24.9% among adults, and 16.5% among older persons. Current alcohol drinking in the past 12 months is reported among 22.3% of adolescents, 62.5% of adults, and 35.8% of older persons. Among the 9.1 currently drinking adolescents in the past 30 days, nearly 6 in every 10 are binge drinkers. Likewise, among adults, about 6 in every 10 of the 38.6% current drinkers in the past 30 days are binge drinkers. Among the 20.9% currently drinking older persons in the past 30 days, 5 in every 10 drink excessively. Insufficient physical activity is observed among 77.5% of adolescents, 45.7% of adults, and 50.3% of older persons. Elevated blood pressure affects 9.9% of the adults and 28.2% of the older persons. Lastly, 7 in 10 adults and older persons have controlled hypertension. As we conclude, let us use the 2025 updating survey results to take action and guide policies and programs to address the country's pressing health and nutrition challenges and achieve our local and global targets.
Let us step out from the four corners of our own institutions, look closely at the realities on the ground, and anchor ourselves to our shared vision of a healthier, food-secure, and progressive nation. Together, through science, technology, and innovation, let us provide every Filipino access to safe, sufficient, and nutritious food.
And with that, the opening ceremony of the 52nd